Tell me about a time you failed. Tell me about a time you disagreed with your boss. Tell me about a time you overcame an obstacle. These types of questions are recruiters and hiring managers' favorites, and they're called behavioral questions. These types of questions aren't exactly easy to answer, and many times there is a hidden question within the behavioral question. But don't worry, in this video I'm gonna teach you how to answer to the tell me about a time type of question and succeed. Hey guys, Emilia here from Emmy Powered, bringing you today the best tips and tools in how to win at life and level up your career. What are behavioral questions? Behavioral questions are any type of questions that get started with tell me about a time when, or describe a situation where. These types of questions lead to a more conversational interviewing, and they're great because they allow the recruiter to understand your thought process and why you acted a certain way in a particular situation. How do you know which questions are gonna be asked on your job interview? Job descriptions are very handy as they're gonna give you many clues. Go through the job description line by line and see what categories are listed. Does the job description talk about teamwork, multitasking, or communication? If so, most likely you're gonna be asked about behavioral questions related to these skills. So what you can do prior to your job interview is to go through that job description line by line and think of examples and situations from your past that are related to the skills listed on that job description. And of course, check out the description box for more examples of tell me about a time type of questions. How do you answer to these questions? STAR is your best friend here, and STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. While I was recruiting with Amazon, they told me right away, hey, use the STAR method while you're answering to behavioral questions. And guess what? It worked. What is so great about the STAR method? This method allows you to stay on track, give clear and concise answers, and it also allows the recruiter to follow through and stay engaged while you're answering. So when they ask you, tell me about a time when, you first give them the situation. You should describe a specific event and not generalize. Be both meticulous and concise at the same time, and make sure that you give enough detail for the recruiter to understand. When thinking of tasks, keep in mind what were the goals you're working towards, and then describe the actions you took to address the situation with an appropriate amount of detail. What were the specific steps you took, and what was your particular contribution? While answering, make sure to keep the focus on you. When talking about a project, don't talk about what the team or the group did, but what was your actual contribution. Make sure to use the word I and not we when describing your actions. When talking about results, describe the outcome of your actions, and don't be shy about taking credit for your behavior. What happened? How did everything end? What did you accomplish? What did you learn? Be as specific as you can at all times without rambling or giving too much information. Be mindful that some examples might actually have a negative outcome, such as losing a client's deal, and this can actually highlight your strengths while facing adversity. But how do you know if your answer is going in the right direction? Always ask the recruiter for feedback or clarification. While answering to the question, you can say things like, is this in line with what you're looking for? Does this answer to your question? Are you looking for an example more related to management or communication skills? And this will definitely play in your favor as recruiters get highly impressed when candidates ask for feedback and know how to respond to it. Let's now jump into an example. Tell me about a time when you failed. Whoa, who likes to talk about failure? It's very tempting to say, I've never failed in my life. But let's be realistic here. Failure is natural and human, and it's something that we should embrace with professionalism. Answer to this question by showing that you have the resourcefulness and determination to overcome any work-related challenges. So here is a real example from my previous job. While I was working at Newell Brands as trade assistant manager, my manager was on annual leave for approximately 3 weeks. As we were a department of 2, during her absence, I was the only one responsible for the department. This was the first time I was alone in this job, and all of a sudden, my workload doubled. Unfortunately, this was a very busy period, and I was overwhelmed with the workload increase, especially without anyone there to support me. Sadly, I did miss a deadline, which was to submit forecasts for product launch to one of the brand leads. I've missed a deadline because I had thousands of emails in my inbox and a very important email got lost in the middle of all the spam and noise. This did impact my relationship with the brand lead and of course my relationship with my manager as well. So the actions I took after this was to create a system in my inbox where it was organized by teams, people and priorities. I've also set specific blocks of time on my calendar to go through my emails. First thing in the morning, middle of the day and before leaving work, but sometimes I check it more often. And I also set for myself as a goal to always take action on emails that require my immediate attention. Another action that I took was to check in with people more frequently, either it's on a meeting, on a catch-up. I always ask them, hey, is there anything that is pending from my side? So the results of this has definitely been an increase in performance and regaining my co-workers and managers' trust. People now see me as more communicative, and on top of it, as I've now seen every email coming my way, I take action on everything that is urgent and definitely I don't miss out on any deadlines. Does this answer to your question? Do you want to know what questions to ask the recruiter at the end of an interview? Check out my video right here.